I'll have to wash it off before my mom sees it. She's never liked grandmother's religious stories. My mom got her U.S. citizenship 5 years ago, and she says grandmother's spooky Mexican folktales remind her of all the reasons she'd wanted to move away. Just Sharpie. Oh. Brooklyn sounds disappointed, but Charlie raises an eyebrow and nods in approval. You drew that? Nice, he says. Before I can respond, a dark-haired girl stops in the middle of the cafeteria and clears her throat. The talking, laughing students around us fall silent, as if they've been placed under a spell. Can I have your attention, everyone? She asks, even though everyone's already looking at her. A group of 6 or 7 people crowd behind her, all holding bags and cardboard boxes. Jesus, Brooklyn grimaces, pushing her fake glasses up her nose. Her tone is completely different than it was a second ago when she offered me the Band-Aid. Is it time for this shit again? I'm Riley, as most of you know, the dark-haired girl continues in a clear, peppy voice, and it's time for the annual school food drive for the St. Michael's Soup Kitchen. I hope this year you'll all help me do God's work and bring in food for the homeless. Last year alone we collected over 500 cans. Students around us start to clap. It takes me by surprise and I join a beat too late. The only time kids at my last school clapped for people was when they tripped and dropped their lunch trays. Behind me, Brooklyn makes a gagging sound. Come on, Charlie mutters. He'd been clapping with the others, but he breaks off to nudge Brooklyn with his elbow. I bite back a smile. I was wrong. He doesn't really seem like a frat boy after all. Brooklyn makes a gun with her hand and points it at Riley's head, narrowing her eyes. Pew, she whispers, shooting an imaginary bullet. She blows smoke from the tips of her fingers. I raise an eyebrow as I reach past her for a carton of milk. I've hung out with girls like her before, the girls who skip third period to smoke cloves in the bathroom and pierce their ears with safety pins. It's always exciting for a while, but they never become real friends. I usually spend most of my time trying to prove I'm cool enough to hang with them. Still, beggars can't be choosers, so when Brooklyn winks at me and says, "Later," I smile and wave back. Charlie shakes his head as Brooklyn walks away, and a few strands of floppy brown hair fall over his eyes. His arm brushes against mine as he leans over the food counter to grab a fork and napkin. Don't take Brooklyn seriously, he says, flashing me a half smile. A dimple appears in his cheek. It's not so bad here, I promise. See you around? My heart does a little flip inside my chest as he walks away. I've been bouncing around long enough to know my crushes never turn out the way I want them to, but I still manage to fall in love every time I meet a new guy with a great smile. I should have learned by now that high school romance isn't in the cards for me. My mom's been a medical technician for the Army since moving to the States. I'm at a new school every 6 months like clockwork. This time it's Adams High School in the tiny Army town of Friend, Mississippi. Friend feels like the inside of an oven. The grass is brown, I hear insects buzzing wherever I go, and there are more churches in my neighborhood than grocery stores. I've lived in nicer places, but in the end, it always comes down to the people. I hesitate near the cafeteria doors and glance back over my shoulder at Charlie. Heat creeps up my neck. This place has potential. The students at Adams eat lunch outside, so I take my tray through the side door and head toward the bleachers. Adams High is a 1-story high building made of cream-colored brick with mud-brown siding. The classrooms are all outdated with peeling linoleum floors and rickety desks. In fact, the only impressive part of the whole school is its football field, a deep green stretch of astroturf, surrounded by shiny silver bleachers. Above the bleachers hangs a blue and white sign that reads, Adams High Spartans. A Mississippi flag billows in the air next to it. As I look around for a place to sit, a gasp of hot wind blows my curls into my face. I lift a hand to push them away, immediately noticing the smell. It's like milk gone bad or moldy cheese. I take a step toward the bleachers and the smell gets worse. Now it's chicken that's been in the garbage all night, fish left out in the heat. I pull my t-shirt over my nose and make my way under the bleachers.